Hey everybody, how's it going? It is Brandon Brashears. Hope you're doing amazing. Hope everything is going great today. Hey, I wanted to jump on here and do a live video for today's marketing video, and I wanted to talk about fixing your ads. So hope everybody's doing great. I'm gonna open a LaCroix and get today's video going. If you're watching right now, be sure to say where you're watching from, say what you're up to, what marketing projects you're working on. Let me know that you can hear me. I'm going to make sure that everybody can hear. So today we're going to be talking about fixing your ads. And this is a question that I get a lot of times as far as when should you fix ads? When should you scrap them? When should you consider just making adjustments or scaling or, all of these different things. So I think that number one, when you're starting ads, you need to first make sure that you understand exactly what the objectives are for the ads. And I say this all the time, but it's true. It's that people say, I've done this type of marketing, it just doesn't work. There's no ROI for it. And I totally get when people say that, because it is difficult to measure ROI sometimes. But so many times people just fail to have an objective that's going to generate money and generate sales and generate revenue. And so you want to make sure that you have a way to generate revenue with the offers that you're using and putting out there. If you're just putting out content for the sake of content, you're going to be measuring engagement through likes and comments and shares and stuff like that. So it's not specifically related to revenue. So that's why you don't have ROI necessarily. So I hope that makes sense. So ultimately though, what should you do if your ads are not working? I think that you have a few things that you need to look about. Basically, every piece of content that you have out there is going to be a stepping stone in, getting people to take the action that you're looking to get. So typically I like to start with the end in mind, right? So thinking about what is the end goal that we want these clients and customers to get to, and then we break it down into baby steps on how to get there, instead of just going straight for the sale and things. So I hope that makes sense too. Let me know if there's anything that you're working on as well. But let's talk about this. So typically you have either a piece of content, an ad, or something that's going to get people to take the next step in what you're looking to do. So let's say you are I'm just going to pick something at random here. Let's say that you're a plumber and you want people to use your plumbing service. If you have an ad that's out there, the first thing that you need people to do is to click on that ad. So the very first step is clicking on the ad. If you're sending an email, the very first step that you need to have somebody take is they need to go and open the email, right? So the headline is going to be the first step. Ultimately, whenever you have marketing sequence and a campaign, you have micro steps and micro commitments that happen along the way for people to take. So if you break your marketing down into its steps and its simplest forms, you can then figure out what is working and what is not working. So typically with ads, depending on the specific platform that we're using and the specific industry that we're in, we're going to have kind of baselines that we'll be able to establish and figure out if things are working well or if they're working poorly, and if we need to make changes on those things. So I think number one, you need to make sure that you understand the market that you're in, how competitive it is, and what you can typically expect when you put out an ad or a piece of content. You'll know that, I'm going to typically get like a 2% click-through rate. Or if I'm doing Google Ads and I have a very specific search phrase that we're targeting, I know that I can usually get between 8 and 20%. I know that's a big range for click-through rates on Google Ads. So ultimately, though, you need to understand your market, you need to understand the offer, and you need to make sure that the offer is something that your audience actually wants. If you don't know that the offer is what your audience actually wants, I think you need to confirm that. And as much as we would like to say the marketing that we're going to be doing is going to be built around selling completely automatically online, I think if you haven't figured out that the offer is what your audience actually wants, you should do some pre-work and actually talk to clients and customers and say, hey, I'm thinking about creating this kind of an offer. Is this something that you think would be valuable to you, would be interested in it? And even take it a step further, that Tim Ferriss suggestion when he's talking about figuring out viable businesses. You ask your friends and your family if they would like the item or the idea. And typically people are super positive when you're just brainstorming, and they're being nice usually. And so if you say, hey, is this something that you'd be interested in? And then you say, hey, can you actually buy it? Would you be interested in buying it? That's a different story. Like, hey, I got 3 in the van right now. Would you like to buy one? And see what they say, because it's very different when people say, oh, I love that idea, it's a great idea, versus, okay, yeah, I'll buy that, I'll pay for that, it's something I really, really want. So make sure that you have it figured out as far as what the offer is. Make sure the offer is something that people actually want. But typically you have the audience that you're choosing, you have the ad that you're matching up with that audience, and then you have the landing page or the call to action page. And so at each one of these steps, you can figure out, is this working well or is this not working? And at each step of the funnel, you're going to be able to tell, what is the piece that is not working. So you need to have your analytics set up. You need to make sure that you're able to measure every step along the way. So I'll give you some examples. If I'm testing maybe 2 or 3 different audiences, and if it's like an interest-based audience in Facebook, and I have an ad, I'll be able to see which audiences are converting the best, which are giving me the best cost per conversion, which are giving me the best cost per click, and break down the metrics that way. So want to make sure that you have not only, just very good metrics as far as cost per clicks and things, but you actually want to be measuring cost per conversion. Now, if you're not getting any conversions, you want to use the kind of highest level of data that you have, right? So if you're getting lots of clicks, but then people are not converting on the landing page, do you have a market and message mismatch? Are you using too much curiosity in your headlines? So typically if you're writing ads and you want to get a higher click-through rate, you're going to want to put more curiosity into the headline. So think about like all of the BuzzFeed and it's like different kinds of like clickbaity headline stuff that used to be very, very prevalent on Facebook. If you think about that kind of stuff, right, it would have a tremendous amount of click-through rate, but probably the traffic quality wasn't super high. If you want to have, and if, let's say you have an ad that's getting tons of clicks but no conversions, then you want to be a lot more specific with your headlines and the content that you're putting out, because you're saying, hey, this is about this course that I'm offering, and here's the price. And if you're interested, click this link. There's not like a surprise on what's going to be on the other side. So you want to make sure that you have that specific data in the headline if you're getting too many clicks but nobody's converting. So be a lot more specific. Tell what the benefits are specifically, not vaguely, and with adding curiosity to that. So those are just a few things that you can do. If you want to have your ad stand out more, make it look completely different than all of the other content that's on the platform that you're on. So if you're on, maybe I would say inside of Facebook, you could use really high contrasting colors to make it stand out as far as the image or the video. Make sure that it's square, that you're taking up as much real estate as possible, and just do everything to try to stack the odds in your favor when it comes to getting as much attention as possible and capturing attention. So I think that, number one, having an offer that you don't know is going to work, you're going to have to go through testing and trials to see if it's going to work out. But if you can get it to work out, and it's something that people want and something that people buy, and you're trying to sell it online now, that's initially where you start. And then you have to break it down into small micro steps and micro commitments to get people to take action. So what's the next step? What does it look like? And how can you get people to take the next step there? All right. So once you have appropriate click-through rates, and once you have audiences that are the correct audiences, you're going to want to figure out why your landing page is not working. So number one, it needs to be optimized for the devices that are clicking on it and the people that are going to be there. So if you have a site that's either slow to load, that kills conversion. It's a very simple fix that you can fix easily. So slow to load. Elements that don't work well in mobile. This is like super basic stuff. You have to make sure that mobile phones will be able to target this. And if you're not getting good conversion on mobile, which is like, let's say you have a high price ticket item, typically higher priced items are purchased on desktop more often than on mobile devices. So you might want to test those specific things. Having calls to action above the fold is a tremendous way to boost conversion. And some of the best converting pages are very simple, especially for retargeting audiences that have already engaged with your brand and your business. So they know what to expect. They already know, like, and trust you. And so then from the ad, which makes the promise, they go to the landing page, and there's a very simple headline and a call to action that's easy to do, and it conveys all of the benefits really quickly and easily. So think about that. Are you making the process more complicated? And so many times, I can't tell you how many times this happens, people that I work with, and when they do their marketing on their own, they'll send people just to their homepage. From email campaigns, from ads, they're just sending traffic to their website, which is their homepage. There's no clear, specific call to action. They're not really sure what to do. They have to dig around and do maybe 4 or 5 steps to really figure out what it is that they want and how to take action with that. And so make sure that the calls to action are clear, specific, and that there's one objective for the landing page. It's okay to have upsells or to sell additional products later on down the road, but really figure out what it is that you want to have done and make it so that it's super clear. The next step is, buy this $7 book, or, buy this planner, or book an appointment, or schedule a free consultation. Whatever it is, have that call to action be super clear above the fold and then throughout the sales message as much as possible. So I think that that's very, very important. And then if you have that in place and you're generating leads, but you're not closing deals, which is super common in the real estate industry, super common in the loan industry, businesses that have more of a commoditized service aspect to it, right, where people are doing price shopping and people are fickle, they want answers right away. The quickness that you can respond and have a follow-up sequence that responds and get a conversation so that you can actually build a relationship is extremely important. So all of the follow-up that needs to be built on behind your landing pages and the deliverable asset that you're giving, like if you're giving a giveaway or lead magnet, it needs to be delivered immediately. They need to be able to consume it quickly and easily, and then they need to be able to take the next step. What is the next step that you want them to take? So there should always be something else. There should always be the next thing that they're going to be consuming. So you have to figure out what that is and how can we take the relationship to the next level. I made a video just a few days ago about micro commitments. If you haven't watched it, be sure to go back and watch it because we talk about this specifically. So like when you go out and you meet people, you don't say, hey, my name is Brandon. Can I have your name, phone number, email, and your social profiles because I want to follow you around and sell you stuff. You don't say that. So you want to make sure that you model normal behavior. So like, hey, how's it going? What do you do? My name's Brandon. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you too. You talk. Not everybody that you meet, you want to get their name, phone number, and email. Same thing with potential clients. If you're doing digital marketing and if you're doing outbound marketing and you're trying to attract clients, you want to make sure that you're attracting the right kinds of clients, not just everybody. So make sure that you have your client avatar really, really well laid out. Make sure that you understand exactly who it is that you're trying to reach, what the before and after looks like, what are their psychographics, what are their demographics, and get super clear on how to build an audience as well as a customer base of people that you actually want to do business with, that you love working with, and that'll help you to enjoy your work more. It'll help you to do better work for yourself and for your clients. So I hope this is helpful. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out. I will say too that having all of the content pieces built around as far as like your email sequences, your text messaging sequences, your ManyChat sequences, stuff that follows up and ascends people from being customers to upselling to the different products and getting them in as much as possible, it's very, very helpful to have all of that built out so that you're not just guessing and hoping what they're going to do. So I know that so many people like to put ads out, put landing pages out, and have all of these leads come in and things because it seems exciting. But if you don't have the systems in place to follow up with them, to onboard these clients, it's going to be a lot less effective. So make sure that you start at the bottom of the funnel and work your way up, because everything that you do as far as systems and marketing systems to retain clients, to ascend clients and resell them, it's going to make every lead that you generate far more valuable, and it's going to help you to boost the ROI that you do across all of your digital marketing. So I hope that makes sense. I think that should make sense for sure. But I would love to know what you think too. What is your favorite part of the funnel to work on? I like bottom of funnel just because that has immediate return on investment for clients typically. But be sure to let me know. I hope you're having a fantastic week so far. If you haven't done so already, be sure to subscribe here and hit that thumbs up button if you enjoyed this video. And I'll see you on the next one. Have a great day, everybody. I'm going to jump off here and see you on the next one. I'm going to try and do more live streams specifically. So have a great day, everybody.